Welcome to another episode of the Miles Offside podcast, where we talk a little bit of football and a whole lot of nonsense. My name is Oscar Puente, also known as Footy From Afar, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Quiz Wizard Chuck Bailey and super producer Ian Stimson. Ian, shall we check in on Posh Island, or is that a no-go this week? I don't know.
It's
Where do
fine.
you go?
It's
Posh Island.
It's just fair to middling at the minute. We are literally just out of the relegation zone, only kept out by obviously Derby's points reduction. But where else did we expect to be? You know, we fought valiantly against Fulham. If you look at the numbers, and that's what everyone cares about, the numbers.
Fair to middling. Never has a more tepid statement been so exaggerational.
We're 21st in fucking
you
the
are
championship.
21st.
What do you want from me? Alright, I thought we'd finish 19th. We're currently 21st. That sounds like fair to middling to me, as long as we don't go
Dream
down.
big, kids, and you two can achieve anything.
Hey, it's our first season in the championship for about 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take. If you offer me 21st now, I will bite your fucking hand off.
Yeah, well, at this rate, I think Mitro is going to score more goals than your own team. Oh shit, he is. He has scored more goals than Peterborough.
Has he really? So he's on 20. How many have Peterborough got?
He's on 20 already?
Oh, Oscar,
20 goals from 17 games.
He's
What the
down
fuck?
he's down to smash Tony's record in the championship as it stands.
Yeah. Peterborough have scored 17 goals.
Fuck me, that's depressing.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
Unreal. Mitro, if Fulham get promoted again, Mitro should just be like, look, you know what, I'm just going to stay, lads. Loan me out to another club and I'll come back to you guys when you get relegated next year.
Yeah. He's the best championship striker ever and just doesn't do anything in the Premier League at all.
Yep. It's now the Mitrovic zone. It is no longer the Huckabee zone.
Huckabee, great reference. Lovely stuff.
One for the teenagers.
How about you, Chuck? How are you doing this week?
Yeah, well, about 10 minutes before we started recording, shut the bedroom door. Can't open it again. So I'm here now.
All right. Well, at least you're locked in and not out.
Yeah, did that to my car last week. So, you know,
Oh yeah, you've got previous.
one lock out, one lock in. Don't know what's next.
You playing the Crystal Maze?
Yeah, automatically locked. Fucked.
Lock in, lock out. I guess the next one will be a lockdown, probably.
Oh,
mate.
Jesus.
Why did you do it?
Well, if you are joining us for the first time, thank you. We're very happy to have you. We are one American and two Brits, and we try to talk about the Premier League, but mostly get distracted. If you're coming back, even better. Great. We appreciate it. We love you. Leave a review. We had some reviews.
Had some reviews.
Do we want to read the reviews, Ian? Or
I'm not going to read them verbatim, but Adam P chose to purely promote the episode he was on in his review.
Yeah.
Gave
Fair
us 5
enough.
stars though, so that's fine.
Yeah.
And
I only promote the episodes that I'm on, so...
you do actually. And Sam Danby just chose to again give 5 stars and just put when in the comments box just put they asked me to. So that's nice.
Thank you, Sam. We appreciate it. We appreciate your patronage.
We genuinely do.
Yeah, it goes a long way, so thank you for that. But we like to kick things off around here with our famous segment, and that is rapid fire news. Only one story this evening, gentlemen, just the one, and that is Antonio Conte, the details man. Quote, I advise my players to have sex for short periods with minimum effort and with their partners on top, and preferably with their wives, so they're not obliged to put in an exceptional performance. They need to make as little effort as possible. Ian, have you been training under Antonio Conte all these years?
Sounds like my sort of manager, yeah.
Who knew? Antonio Conte his ethos has been running through many of our lives without us knowing his influence in the world. Preferably with their wives.
Preferably.
Wait, what a way to promote fidelity.
Oh my god. Minimum effort, partners on top, short periods with hopefully their wives, and as little effort. Like, that is just quite the rundown.
It's a lot to unpack there.
Take care of business.
Get in, get out, that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
Gegenpress. No, that doesn't work.
So glad. Oh, grim. I'm so glad he's back. I'm really glad he's back.
I'm not. It makes me sad. It makes me sad to see him anywhere other than Chelsea, especially at Tottenham.
Before the pod, believe it or not, we do kind of talk about what we're going to talk, and then we were going through and I was thinking, oh yeah, there's been 2 manager changes since we last recorded. Oh no, there's been 3. Oh no, 4. There have been 4 managers, of which Conte is one. Daniel Farker has fucked off. Dean Smith has been done. And who came in? Oh, Eddie Howe.
Quite the, I don't know, inspired managerial choice, shall we say?
All that money, and that's the way they go.
He was there.
Was he 8th choice, 7th or 8th choice? Maybe Nuno? Nuno wants to go to Newcastle?
No one should take Nuno, for fuck's sake. It's a weird one. Obviously, they didn't announce it until, I think, Monday, but he was in the stadium being shown every 5 minutes on the TV coverage for their game against Brighton. There were a few negotiations that went on to do with backroom staff and other assurances and things like that. I just don't really... I mean, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't, because is he the person to save them from relegation when his last season was him getting relegated with a club that had just invested a load of money in transfers and not necessarily spent it wisely because they didn't have a director of football?
Well, when they do get relegated, I mean, he's the perfect man to bring them back up from the Championship.
Straight back up. They are in a weird situation, Newcastle, because, like, do you make a managerial appointment for this season to save your season? Or are they thinking long-term? Is Eddie Howe either of those answers? I think probably not. Like, how do they choose to spend their infinite money is an interesting question for Newcastle fans and Newcastle as a club, but not so much for me to have to think about because it's Newcastle, so whatever.
Yeah, he's a caretaker, basically. Like, there's no way in which you think Eddie Howe is the future of Newcastle United. He's just the manager for right now.
Should have got Neil Warnock in there.
Yeah, he got fired as well. Yeah. That's a shame. It's never nice. He's had a lovely time. Just broke the record, didn't he? For most
but they very
managerial
clearly
games,
just let him break the record and then fired him immediately.
Yeah, the Steve Bruce treatment. But yeah, they are shit. They'll still be shit. I don't think Eddie Howe fixes that issue. They're saying, obviously January they will get a load of money in, but it's whether, I don't even know if Eddie Howe makes it to January, to be honest. Their fixtures up until January, Ian. Brentford, Arsenal, Norwich, Burnley, Leicester. Right, so Brentford, Norwich and Burnley are kind of their chances there, right? Their next 4 games are Liverpool, City, United, Everton. Out of the next 9 games, they probably get 6 points, which puts them on 11 points after 20 games, which is 1 less than West Brom had after 20 games last season.
Word. But that, if they were to... we're speculating on something that hasn't happened, but if they were to get rid of Howe before January, that would just cement the banter club status that's been going on for 14 years anyway. I mean, fucking hell. Surely not. But
well, Kaylee said that, and I agree with this fully, they will eventually win a title and be consistently a top 4 team. It's just what happens between now and then, and how long does that take, right? Like, this much money is gonna eventually show. They're gonna get titles. Like, Newcastle fans, congratulations. You just won at least a few titles in the next 10 years. Like, it's happening.
If they stick around, yeah.
But are they going to the championship first? And what's that going to look like with all of the infinite money down there? Like, what is it? What even is that situation? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of excited. They Burnley'd the shit out of Brighton this weekend. I'm assuming this isn't a game we're going to talk about, but it was 0.2 to 1.6 on the XG, and then 1-1 it finished. So, like, if Newcastle can pull some Burnleys out of the bag between now and January, maybe? I don't know.
And bloody Lewis Dunk had to go in goal for like the last brilliant 5 minutes because Sanchez got sent off. And I was watching that game so excited. And after Callum Wilson, I think rightfully Sanchez got sent off for taking him down.
100%, yeah.
But Shelvey gets a free kick about 30 yards out or so, 25 to 30 yards out. And rather than playing a shot into a backup, well, not even a backup keeper, a central defender that's in there, or playing a ball in for people to attack, just sprays this ball out to the wing. Like, mate, I've seen you shoot from further away from open play. Lewis Dunk was in goal. They had 0 shots during the whole time he was in goal. And I'm very upset about that because I wanted to see some calamities.
So while I accept that like Shelby made a very wrong decision there, it does feel bad that Sanchez can deny an obvious goal scoring opportunity, but be it a long way out. But you know, it was a red card, definitely, and then there'd just be a free kick from distance, even if you've got to put Lewis Dunk in goal. Like, it feels like that there should be a rule change where there could be a penalty awarded, surely, or something, because it just felt like if Wilson had carried on there, it would have been a goal, or it would have been a high XG situation. You know, you're saying that they Burnley'd, Oscar, but that was, I don't know. It didn't feel right. Like Sanchez did the right thing in the end, which is just, which is really weird. It's just the wrong way round.
Oscar, this seems strange to me that Ian's the one putting forward the ideas of rule changes, Mr. Traditionalist,
I know, right?
Stuck in proper football.
It just felt wrong. It felt wrong that Shelby should have the opportunity to fuck that up so much. That's all. It was just, I don't know. It was a bit bizarre.
It's bang out of order. Bang out of order.
Bang out of order.
Well, shall we run through some matches other than Newcastle, Brighton? Weirdly got stuck on that one.
Well, you know, banter in it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take it to the actual big matches of the week. We'll start with the Manchester Derby. That was Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2, Manchester United 0.6 to Man City's 2.0. Boys, Ole's at the wheel, as ever. Doing a great job.
At the wheel. Ole's at the wheel. Everybody now, Ole's at the wheel. You may as well, rather than the the Manchester Derby, it should just be renamed Manchester City Play Traffic Cones. It was the most dominant while also being passive performance from Man City, that they just did nothing. And Manchester United did nothing and have learnt nothing and have progressed in no ways, have just started playing 5 at the back for reasons, are apparently training Jadon Sancho at wing back for reasons. Like that club is absolutely baffling, but incredibly enjoyable to see them just be this shit and continue to be shit and shitter and the shittest. It
does feel like Ole is the new Arsene Wenger in that I'm desperately hoping for him to stick around as long as possible while his own fans are like, Arsene out, Wenger out. Or Ole out. And I'm like, no. Ole in. Let him stay for as long as possible, please. Because that was delightful. They were fucking terrible. They had no idea what to do. And now they're going to ruin Jadon Sancho. Great.
Well done. Yeah, it's they should massively abandon, but they won't. And they're still saying, you know, he's got time and all this. I mean, the whole 3 games to save your job we said last week makes no fucking sense. People were kind of confused about Norwich with Farke and obviously him getting got rid of straight away after they finally won their first game this year against Brentford. But for me, it's like, well, no, it doesn't matter what your last result was or whatever. You have to look at the fact that, what is it, he hadn't won in his last 26 Premier League games if you put them end to end. You win one. Like, that doesn't mean that you're the right fit. And there's nothing. There's nothing to say that Norwich weren't right in keeping him in the first place, because obviously they had a really good season, came up before, didn't quite work out, went down to the Championship, absolutely destroyed it.
Yeah,
and thought, give him the chance and see if you can learn. Just because the experiment failed doesn't mean it wasn't worth trying. I think Solskjaer was probably an experiment worth trying, just like Chelsea tried with Lampard, Arsenal tried with Arteta at the same time. The one that is failing the hardest.
Xavi.
Yep, Barca and Xavi right now because they have no money. He paid his own buyout clause, which is my favorite fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. They tried to give Koeman half of his, and he went, no, you will pay me the full amount.
Good on Koeman, I tell you. Usually I'm not a big one for greed, but yeah, absolutely. He's been fucked over there, just and embarrassed by the... Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with him going, no, pay me the lot, mate.
Yeah, Xavi's on a negative 5 million contract so far.
It's mad.
It's exactly the contract Barcelona needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Solskjaer now seems like, you know when you buy the new FIFA or the new Football Manager or games like that, and you have to play for a little while to figure out this year what the exploits are, which formation is overpowered, what way to exactly play, and then just, you delete that save and you start again and you start from that. That's what he seems like he's trying to do. Like, oh, my team doesn't press and isn't good, so let's play 3 at the back. Because that will... Oh, no, I'll still concede a load of goals. Okay, let me blame Aaron Wan-Bissaka because he's getting absolutely no support and Man City are pummeling me all day by simply playing it out to Cancelo on the wing with a double-up with Cancelo and Foden. Oh, clearly Aaron Wan-Bissaka can't defend. Let's put Jadon Sancho there because I want my right back to attack, goddammit. Like, at this point, I wonder whether it's a lack of intelligence or just a sheer arrogance on his part that he thinks he knows. It's incredible. It's just absolutely incredible to watch, and I'm enjoying every second of it.
But we're in his 4th season. How can we be in this situation where we're looking at
his 4th season?
Well, he started. When did
Fuck
he
me.
Yeah. I'm right there, aren't I? 18, 19.
Who fucking cares?
19, 20, 20. Yeah. So,
not that we don't care if you're right. Who fucking cares when they were in? They're shit. Leave them there. They get nowhere. They get nowhere with this guy. They get absolutely nowhere with this guy.
Yeah, and they're opening the door for someone else to be 4th place when it should
West
be
Ham.
theirs on lock. Like, really, really, really easily should be theirs. And it's going to be maybe someone else, unless they sort their shit out between now and the end of September. Or the season.
Yeah.
But should we talk about Man City a little bit? I mean, Man City putting up 2, not that impressive because it was just United, but still, like, Manchester Derby's a big game for them. I'm sure they were happy to have won. They were the only team of the big 3 to win this weekend.
It was like that wasn't a big game for them when you watch it. That was just so fucking routine.
Pep couldn't have been happier with the manner of the victory. In the post-match, he was absolutely purring. He could not have been happier with the fact that Man City didn't have to get out of 3rd gear. 2nd gear, maybe.
Neutral.
Yeah,
Just coasting. Yeah,
They're
literally
neutral.
just coasting.
They just rolled.
I mean, it was the amount they just kept the ball away from Man United, especially once they'd got their 2 goals. That was just job done. Let's have a break. Didn't even make any substitutions. I mean,
Holy shit! Did they not?
Man City didn't make any subs at all.
I didn't notice that either. That's fucking hilarious. That's the disrespect on that shit. Oh my god!
Absolutely, just didn't even need to.
Did Pep just like drop his pants and take a shit in front of the Man United like bench as well? Like right, just aggressive eye contact, and Ole just dumped all over his shoes.
There was no need to rest anyone, was there? Because there was no effort being.
That's
no required
amazing.
effort being forthcoming because it didn't matter. Man United offered absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Apart from De Gea, who I felt for when he conceded just before half time, because until then he'd been the only one keeping him from a Liverpool scoreline.
Thank you for mentioning that, because that's the funny thing about this, is that we've spoken many, many times about how United have gotten by with individual moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
Now, that can be a part of football. That's what gets like those great teams through a rough fixture. They pull one out of the bag, they go, phew, we got away with that. We go again in our dominant run that keeps going. That's what great teams do. David De Gea was the individual moment of brilliance in this game. He was phenomenal in the first half. He was De Gea 2 seasons ago, whenever it was, when he was absolutely incredible in this game. Yeah. It should have been 5-0 at half-time. Like, that kind of game. And he kept them in it so much. And the rest of the team just did fuck all. Eric Bailly had the same number of shots on his own target as Man United had on Man City's.
Oh my goodness. Just ridiculous. I mean, as well, the reason I felt for him as well, because he did flap at that second goal a little bit. It was, but there were 4 other players, I think, who could have had something to say about that goal. Bruno
11,
could have done better.
Really?
Well, yeah. Wan-Bissaka could have done better. And then Maguire and Shaw, who just watched and seemingly went, "Oh, don't worry about him, he won't do anything." And then
it was so weird. That was so weird though, because like I had no reaction because there was no reaction from the players and no reaction from the crowd. And Bernardo Silva if you watch even the slowed down replay, kind of can't believe what happened.
Yeah.
I was watching on the TV and just thought, oh, okay, so he's just hit it into the side net in there.
Yeah, I had to sort of wait for the ball to bounce back and sort of resolve the fact that I could see it was in the goal mouth.
Yeah.
It was really weird, yeah.
Baffling. And you're like, wait, that just happened. Like, you know, fair enough, good on him for getting the contact in there, but that should never have happened.
No, that should have been stopped 3 or 4 times, that goal. And it's hard to just blame De Gea when it'd been so good previously.
Yeah. No, I mean, De Gea kept it to the XG scoreline, like 2.0 XG, 2 goals scored, which for City, when they're that good, and normally you would expect them to perform above that. So De Gea did keep it honest there, which is kind of impressive given how fucking terrible the rest of United were, but long may it continue. Honestly, like, I don't think that they have any plans of doing it. We talked about that. I think, like, it's just going to keep going on, and, like, fucking great. Yeah. Good times in Manchester, but from 1-2-0 to another, we had Chuck. Get ready to cream yourself and talk for the next hour or so. Crystal Palace 2, Wolves 0. Crystal Palace 2.0 to Wolves 0.3. Chuck, you guys are good, I guess. What's going on here?
Another win, another clean
bored,
sheet.
isn't it, mate?
Standard. What is there to talk about? We're just fucking amazing, guys. There's nothing more I can say. Wolves have been really, really good this year, and we made them look so fucking average. And I was very shocked about that, how little we allowed them to create. 0.3 XG conceded.
Yep.
I mean, for the whole season now, XGA, we are now second, only behind Man City. There's a 3-goal difference there. And that's just absolutely
Aren't you guys
phenomenal.
like 1/10 of a goal ahead of us, though? Like, isn't it like very, very close between us? Not that that's not amazing. You're amazing, but...
Yes. Yeah. There's 1/10 to Chelsea, there's 2/10 to West Ham, and then you've got a 0.8 up to Liverpool. So
yeah, okay.
within the spectrum of a game, I would say the 2nd to 6th could probably all change hands in a way, but someone's got to be there, and the speed at which Patrick Vieira has done what he's done, the players are just keep doing that. I genuinely, I'm lost for words on what to say. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So much fun to watch. So good. Undefeated in 5. Undefeated at home this season. Like I said before, 2nd for XGA. For XG differential, we're 6th. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 10th into the top half of the table and still underperforming. Fuck, it's great. We've got Eze's back now. He played 90 minutes for the under-23s before. He'll probably come on against Burnley. That's just unreal. In May, he popped his Achilles. Unbelievable.
That's crazy
Absolutely
fast.
Unbelievable. And we've got Burnley. You know, I would have liked Villa to keep Dean Smith maybe for that fixture. We've then got Leeds. We've then got United. We've then got Everton. We've then got Southampton. We've then got Watford. Like, it's so nice to be in this position where genuinely and without scraping by, we can look up the table and expect points, as it were. And I'm absolutely loving life at the minute. Absolutely.
Is this the best you've ever seen Palace be?
100%
Oh,
in my
wow.
entire
That's
lifetime.
so fucking cool, man. I'm so happy for you that this is like
it's
that we're
so
living this
unknown.
right now.
It really is, and like the discourse is coming around so much everywhere when you filter in all the different levels of, be it Sky, be it Match of the Day, be it the commentators on the matches, just saying about who we are now and what we can do and unleashing the potential that has always been there. You know, for years it's been will Zaha leave. Now it's we think he's going to get a new contract. There's some stuff going in that he's going to sign a new contract. Such is the positivity and the vibes in the place from all of the players that have the buy-in from Vieira completely. And that definitely helps having young players of French descent, some players that were Arsenal fans, you know, bringing in midfielders that want to play for one of the greatest midfielders of the modern era. And just run out of words. Absolutely run out of words. It's phenomenal. Long may it continue. The fact that after 11 games as well, 538 has us as 4% to qualify for the Champions League. Like, I don't think we've ever been less than 1%.
Less than 1%,
and that's stupid.
That's
and
amazing,
it's not going to happen. But we're 5% to get relegated on there and 4% to qualify for the Champions League. Like, it's absolutely fucking mad.
That was Arsenal numbers a little while ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, the teams that you're around with your metrics, like, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, West Ham this year, like, these are big boy teams, and you guys are hanging with the big boys with your numbers over a significant sample size. Like, this is legit. This is not a fluke.
Significant sample size, underperforming, and also the fact we're in 10th. We've played every team above us apart from Manchester United. Every team we play now is below us, bar one. Yeah. Until we hit the new year.
Well, and below you on expected numbers, which is even more predictive than anything else.
Exactly. Like, unreal. Absolutely unreal. So, good vibes. Party times. Beep, beep.
All right, well, that's pretty fucking great, Chuck. I'm happy for you, but let's move on, I guess, to a less happy for the hosts collectively situation. That's Chelsea 1, Burnley 1. Chelsea getting Burnley'd by Burnley, or perhaps Watforded by Chelsea themselves. 2.2 to 1.0 on XG.
Hang on, we haven't had the jingle in a while.
Oh, this ain't the jingle.
Do a quick one.
All right, do the quickie.
Burnley of the week!
There it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Anytime you get Burnley'd by Burnley, you got to kind of celebrate it. But they did match their XG. They did get to 1.0 in the end, so, wasn't quite that bad. Chelsea drawing, Burnley, frustrating. Chelsea having better XG, frustrating. I did mostly say I didn't care about the XG, so even just drawing whether we won the XG or lost the XG or whatever, dropping points to Burnley, not fucking cool. But, while watching it, I was enjoying myself right up until the end there. They looked good. They were cutting them apart. Still continue to not have Lukaku, not have Timo. We'll see what happens when they come back. I don't know. I don't really have much takes here. Turns out this is a point earned as opposed to 2 points dropped, given the Liverpool result. It's sort of saving our embarrassment there. But I'm not overly reading into this. It's frustrating. It sucks. It's annoying. It kind of put a crankiness into my early Saturday. But I don't know. Do you guys have particularly takes on Chelsea Burnley other than I don't know, wish we could finish better?
It was kind of the result that was probably coming, bearing in mind how many massively overperforming results you've had for quite a few, winning with 0.25 XG and stuff like that. Yep. I think for you, probably if it hadn't have come against Burnley, that would be good. But it's whether now you use that as a reset point. Those top three teams have all stumbled across each other the last couple of weeks. Chelsea profited the most, not last week, just gone the week before, being the only ones to win. Now you get a point this week. City win, Liverpool lose. As a neutral, that's good to see it keeping alive and making it interesting.
Well, and getting closer now too, right? Because City caught up the gap that they had left to us in Liverpool. So now it's what?
Liverpool on 22 points, Man City on 23, Chelsea on 26, with West Ham in third on 23 as well.
And what the fuck? Arsenal are in fifth? What the fuck happened? I don't even want to know. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Shit happened. It's a bit weird. It's
that's very confusing.
People keep posting tables from the last 8 games. It's that's fair enough. Yeah. But, also you've overperformed quite a bit. And remember the 3 games before that where you lost by 3 matches and conceded 9 goals? Those were things that happened. And you sweated a win against Watford.
Very much so.
But not that I want to take us off of Chelsea, but I don't think you want to be here. Do you want to remain there, Oscar?
No, I mean, finishing continues to be an issue. It would have been nice if in the summertime they had gone out and addressed that need with an elite level striker, perhaps, that they could just plug right into the 3-4-3 system that's already working really well to put those chances away. But instead... Oh, wait, no. We did go get an elite, talented level striker, and our finishing is still a fucking problem, even though he wasn't healthy in this game, so that's kind of a...
Yeah, he's been out for, 4 games now?
Yeah, he's been out for a little bit. We've looked better with him out than in, which is a problem. I don't know. We're in first place. Sucks to drop points, but, can't super complain.
Yeah, exactly. You'd rather look shit and be in first place than be, playing well and in 17th.
Definitely. All right, well, let's move on then. You mentioned Arsenal, so let's go to Arsenal actually here. We had Arsenal 1, Watford 0, Arsenal 1.8 to Watford's 0.6. Arsenal looking good. Putting up 1.8 in XG is always nice. Arsenal beating a team, no matter the team, is always nice. And Emile Smith-Rowe getting called up to England. He's looking good. He's having a good time.
The big story, though, is Arsenal turning into total shithouses.
Yeah. I'm very surprised by that XG as well. I did not realise that, because I was going to say, Arsenal got away with one there, being 1-0.
I don't know how much of the XG came from the goal itself, But I mean, there was a foul in the build-up. That goal shouldn't have counted. So
yeah, there's the goal itself is the main talking point and has within it like 2 or 3 talking points.
Yeah.
Obviously, the start is where Tufan goes down from the challenge from Tavares. I think it was. I can't remember. Which was a fair challenge. Like that was. I don't think that was a foul.
Yeah.
And then stays down for ages, and Danny Rose, for some reason, plays it out at his own, about 6 yards out from his own byline.
Yeah.
And then, so you play it out for your own player to get the advantage, and then you expect to get the ball back from Arsenal. I didn't really understand that one. When has that been a thing? Like, if you want the ball back, just fucking boot it down the other end, because then you're either not in pressure, or if they do give it back, you're fine. Such a stupid thing to do. And even like after the ball went out, Tufan was getting up to say he was fine, and Danny Rose was trying to say, "No, fucking stay down, stay down."
Yeah.
So that you just get treatment, and then maybe they'll feel sorry and play it back. So
I don't blame that. Not the only stupid thing Danny Rose did, because I presume the penalty contributed 0.7 xg that wasn't converted.
Oh yeah. Oh, good point.
So do you know what I'm saying? I just think that
for Aubameyang.
Yeah. So that xg feels maybe a bit inflated by a couple of things.
Yeah. So it's probably like 1 plus a penalty.
So that makes more sense. Okay. Now we're
drilling
down.
Down into the numbers.
Drilling down. Well, Danny Rose's other one was a bit strange because he gave away a penalty for that, but then Maitland-Niles ramming his head into Ismail Assar. Potentially, what's weird is, so that was obviously then the foul into the build-up, and then Arsenal got the ball and scored.
Yeah.
But that foul, if you watch it from certain angles, and that includes from where the ref was, it looks like Maitland-Niles goes up under his chin and potentially knocks him out. And Sarr doesn't move. There's no movement from him rolling around. The play goes on for like 5-6 seconds before the goal is scored. He doesn't move when the crowd scream or anything. And you'd think, if the whole thing is about protecting head injuries and those kind of things, I'm very surprised the ref didn't blow for that. Regardless of the fact that it was a foul, potentially on top of it being a foul, it may have been a head injury.
Yeah, just stop the game.
And so I think Arsenal kind of got away with one there. Massively, that meant that they got the 3 points.
Well, and with those 3 points too, I have the 538 numbers in front of me. They've put themselves firmly into that top 4 conversation, at least as of the time of recording. Because West Ham are at 37%, that makes sense. They've been the 4th best team. United 29% also makes sense, just given who they are, their budget, all that stuff. And then Arsenal are now up to 20%, which it was previously mostly a 2-horse race. But Arsenal at 20, everybody else is down in single digits. Like, that's certainly different from anything we'd seen from them so far this season.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, we said it last week as well, they are looking a hell of a lot better than they were, especially at the start. Like, the 3 losses, they deserved that. They were absolutely fucking woeful. And now they've gone on a good run, and fair enough, the fans should celebrate that. But just to temper it a bit, they have overperformed by just over 5 points in that run of 8 games. So, if you sort the table by expected, they're still sitting down in about mid-table.
Yeah.
So, if you're then looking at the kind of regression to the mean element, like they're wildly overperforming to climb the league at this point. Second only in overperformance to Chelsea, but, we won't mention that too much.
Yeah, sure, but Chelsea are in 1st after being on 3rd unexpected. Arsenal are in 5th after being on 11th unexpected, or thereabouts. So, in terms of the actual table overperformance, one is massively... we're 3 points overperforming given to our relative position.
All I'm saying is, call your fucking Jets, Adam, yeah? Call your Jets.
No, fire up the Jets, Adam. I mean, Arteta is now jointly the most successful Arsenal manager over his first 100 games. He's just got the joint...
What's that?
By measuring by how many crosses he's put in?
No, by games won. Wenger only won 53 of his first 100 games. Arteta's won 56, the same as George Graham did.
Wow.
We're in big league territory now.
Yeah, so fourth place in the FA Cup.
Congratulations. Entirely unconvinced by that stat.
No.
Yeah,
I think they're performing really well by the new normal that we are judging them by. We are no longer judging Arsenal as a top 4 team. We are judging Arsenal as a potential mid-table team with the possibility of Europe. At that level, yes, they are performing well. They
That's very
are
true.
not close to being in the same breath as the current top three. And even squad-wise, Manchester United as well. And perhaps Tottenham going forward with Conte as well. Who knows?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe that's a good place to transition. We had Tottenham drawing 0-0 with Everton, both of them below 1 XG, 0.5 to 0.8. I don't have many takes on the game itself, other than that surely can't be the start that Antonio Conte wanted for his Premier League career.
Don't know what you're talking about. Clean sheet. Absolute.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Shift straight to 5 at the back, 5-3-2, and let's just see what apparently he only had 10 minutes with the team before this game because there were visa issues and it took time and
it'll be very curious to see how they come back after the international break after he's had like a solid 2 weeks to work with the team. I think most of them aren't going on international duty / don't have international duty, so he'll have a significant amount of time with the majority of the squad. So I don't think this will be indicative of what we're going to see from them going forward necessarily, although the 5 at the back, it is Antonio Conte, but 5 at the back for him means very different things in different countries with different teams. Like, just because it's a similar formation does not mean it's similar tactics or similar sort of deployment of players in positions and sort of tactical responsibilities that they have. So I'm not reading too much into this, but, can't be a happy result for Tottenham, not what they would have wanted, I don't think.
No, I think it's a case of the intensity was up, the distance covered was up, so that 10 minutes was enough to put the fear of God into them to actually run a little bit, which they haven't been doing this season. But still, it didn't. Ultimately, it didn't result in anything. I mean, they've gone. It's nearly 4 hours now without getting a shot on target.
Yeah, that's wild.
And that,
I
with the
couldn't believe
players
that.
they've got, even no matter what's going on, when you've got Son and you've got Kane, not getting a shot on target in that long is ridiculous. But yeah, he only had 10 minutes with them. Let's see what we can do with them. Like I say, I think they were encouraging things in that they were seeming to put more effort in. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they were seeming to put more effort in. And I'm not sure over the next 6, I'm not sure any team's got a better run than Tottenham. We're looking at Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich, Brighton, Leicester. I mean, that's a nice run. That's a really nice run.
It's a lot of middling teams. None of them are particularly good, and none of them on their day are can easily be terrible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only team you'd think are possibly going to bother the top 6 or 7 this season might be Leicester, and that's 5-6 games away. So
that's generous, honestly. At this point,
I am being generous. But yeah, I'm just saying that's the only one, and that's 5-6 games away. So they've got a nice run.
A lot
now.
of time to build up going
Exactly.
forward. I think definitely good times for Tottenham fans going forward into January, where you'd assume as well they're going to get a few more reinforcements and a bit of cash spent. You
150 million apparently.
Wow.
I mean, Conte is the 4th best manager, and that's saying a lot because the 3 best managers in the world are already there. Do you know what I mean? Like he's in the top probably 5 to 7 managers in the world.
It's a good time to be, watching the Premier League or getting into the Premier League.
Yeah,
it
is.
really is.
Yeah, #blessed.
Yeah, I was reading Zonal Marking on holiday, which is the Michael Cox book, which kind of goes through from the 70s, 80s of kind of the Dutch dominance into kind of the Italian and then the French, the Spanish, Portuguese, and then kind of it ends on the Premier League. And I haven't got that far yet, but first of all, it's really, really interesting to read anyway and learn more and more and more about that kind of aspect of the game. But I think it's exactly right. You look at the Premier League now, it's the best one out of COVID anyway, the one that survived the most. It was doing well beforehand, and now, there's 4 teams with 4 of the best managers in the world.
And that TV money is about to skyrocket too, because the US rights expire, I think, next year, and there's a bidding war going on for insane money.
Honestly, the Premier League has lucked out massively with that because, TV money in this country is starting to go down a little bit because it's seen as unsustainable for the TV companies to pay that much money. Sky had already started losing packages to the likes of Amazon and 2 companies, whereas it was always, Sky would get 5 of the 6 packages and then it'd be ESPN or Setanta Sport. There'd only be 1, but now they've lost 2 packages in recent times to BT Sport and Amazon. Amazon have shown what you can do with it, as we've talked about it. So it's the money's going probably down in this country, but like you said, Oscar, the money in the US and other territories, obviously, but the Premier League rights in the US are about to go crazy, and the Premier League's just lucked out massively, I think, timing-wise, just because as our sort of TV revenue starts to dip, they're going to find a whole new crazy money revenue stream, you know?
Yeah, the Premier League is becoming the Super League instead of allowing a Super League to happen. They're like, no, you
true.
stay here.
Yeah.
We be Super League now. Like, that's just in terms of the money, the finances of the game, the global game.
Yep.
Other than Bayern Munich and PSG, like, there's no one that can compete.
And the selfishness of myself, I'm fine with that because I can be a part of it.
I don't care if it's in the Premier League or the Super League or whatever fuck you want to call it. Just give me all the best players in one place. That's all I want. Like, you know.
And it's kind of happened by default because all the good teams elsewhere, again, apart from PSG and Bayern, are just fucking collapsing and can't afford anyone anyway.
They're dead broke.
It's happening de facto.
Yeah.
I mean, Barcelona is paying their manager negative $5 million. It's dark times out there. Speaking of dark times out there, this is a good transition, I guess, to West Ham 3, Liverpool 2. Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Mr. Simpson, I'm going to need you to cue the jingle here.
Oh, they're better than they ought to be.
Burnley of the week.
That's right. We had West Ham Burnleying Liverpool for all the talk of how great West Ham have been. It was 1.0 to 1.4. So West Ham tripling their XG, less than Liverpool, and still getting a 3-2 win. Love to see it.
This is the least Burnleyest Burnleying ever. If you watched, like, West Ham were fantastic.
Yes, they were. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say they shithoused this, but like the numbers dictate this be Burnley of the week.
So good. So absolutely good. Playing on the counter, I think they had like 30-something% possession. David Moyes' West Ham in this game is what neutrals thought Roy Hodgson's Palace was, I think, when they were saying, be careful what you wish for, because West Ham knew exactly what they needed to do. They weren't overly pressing, but the second they got the ball, they were electric. And they had 3 corners in this game. 3 corners. They scored from 2, and they hit the bar with the 3rd. They exploited the space between Trent perfectly, because that is the exploit when it comes to Liverpool. They sacrificed that space to allow one of the best attacking right-backs in world football the freedom and rely on Van Dijk being able to cover. And Antonio occupied them beautifully, exploited them. I mean, Trent scored a phenomenal free kick. Divock Origi scored a beautiful goal on the turn. And just a great game of football. West Ham fans are in trouble because pretty soon they might not have anything they can complain about. And they are primarily set up to be the Leicester this year and drop out of the top 4 on the last day.
Oh, 100%. To Arsenal, probably. Hilariously. I don't know. I mean, I guess somebody could break into the stadium and break the bubble machine. Just give something to complain about. No bubbles. No bubbles, no party.
Yeah, that might be the source of their power.
Bubbles. Grown men, bubbles. Yeah.
It is a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I love the bubbles. Are you kidding me? The bubbles is like my favorite thing about West Ham.
I love it as well. But when you sort of see, 50-year-old overweight men singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," I love it, and I can't help but think that's a bit weird, mate. I just can't help it. It just, Anyway, but I agree with everything Chuck said there. I mean, this being a Burnley, I mean, the problem is, what's the XG on Alisson flapping one into his own net? I mean, that
would be 0, wouldn't it? I guess
exactly. So there's a goal out of nowhere, except for West Ham putting in the right area. I did not see any specific foul at all. I saw a sort of a crowding of the area, but I don't think there was any foul on Alisson. I can't see anything specific that Antonio did or that Ogbonna did that would say that's a foul. So
I'll say this.
Oh.
If I was a Liverpool fan, gross. Barf. Sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. If I was a Liverpool fan, I would be angry about that goal, not because I think it was a foul, because by the rules, that's not a foul, right? But by every fucking call we've ever fucking seen for the history of the last 20 years of soccer, they protect goalkeepers ridiculously.
That's true.
In real time, I was like, what? How is that not a foul? I've always seen that called. You look up the rules and it's like, oh, turns out that's actually not a foul. It's just always given. So I can see like why, Liverpool fans feel hard done by there.
I don't know. I mean, I've had chats with some people, and I don't want to name and shame them when I'm disagreeing with them, but he's from Sutton, and I can't see a world in which it's a foul. It would be ridiculous, and it's when it's a completely fair challenge, completely. Antonio's entitled to stand where he is. He doesn't really do anything there. Ogbonna jumps up, straight up, with Alisson behind him jumping forward into him. It's just Alisson isn't strong enough, isn't present of mind enough. Liverpool were poor at set pieces as much as West Ham were good at set pieces in this one.
Absolutely.
Trent came out in the post-match and mentioned that it's a weakness of theirs and blah, blah, blah. Like, well done, expose it even more to the world, mate.
Yeah, said that West Ham had obviously seen something in what we do at set pieces. And it's like, well, why haven't you fixed that then? Because it is a worry. Like, I think Liverpool are conceding a fair bit of goal threat from set pieces quite a lot this season. So they should be worried about it.
And you would hope that they do sort it out too. Well, no, I don't hope, because fuck Liverpool. But in terms of from the neutral perspective, the Premier League title race and all that stuff, like these two results from Chelsea and Liverpool put City at 49% to win. Like, it bumped them up massively. Even though they're the ones that are a little bit trailing, they have had much the better underlying numbers. And so, like, this put Liverpool down to 27 and Chelsea down to 22. So you're kind of looking at, like, even though it looks like it crunched together given the results, because City moved up and Liverpool and Chelsea didn't, the underlying numbers, at least according to 538, would indicate that this was actually not a crunching together, but a spreading out of the title odds, which is not fun. I don't want to see that.
No.
Nor does the neutral, I don't think.
No, but I mean, I think, credit should be given to West Ham, because exactly what Chuck was saying. They were...
Absolutely.
Defensively, they were so compact and knew what their jobs were. And, not too much space between defence and midfield. It was really impressive, but... Chuck took words almost directly out of my notes of they would just pour forward. They were explosive in the counter-attack, and they always had options. Fornals was brilliant, and he has been brilliant a lot of this season. And as you say, he was just like overloading all the time. There was 2-on-1s or 3-on-2s, and it was really impressive from West Ham, because it didn't look like a fluke. It looked like a plan. And that was the impressive thing. You know how, we've been talking about Man United, obviously. With the individual moments, it looks like a fluke. But you really did see here a team that had analysed the other team and gone, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Benrahma, Fornals, Antonio all played together so well. And it was really impressive.
Yeah, they don't, as much as we would have thought at the start of the year. I mean, David Moyes has been phenomenal given the time that he's had to rebuild it, especially in his second spell. No one thought that this would happen. Absolutely not. No. They don't look like a team that will suffer anywhere near as much without Antonio anymore, which at the start of the season you wouldn't have thought, because he scored like 4 goals in the first 3 games, something like that, and he's only scored 3 in the next 8. Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals look amazing.
Bowen, good shout.
They've still got players there like Yarmolenko, who is forgotten about so much, but he's a phenomenal player. Every international break and every tournament, he plays every game for Ukraine and looks great, which, considering he's playing next to no club football, is mad. They're third in the table right now. They're 4th on XG. They've got the 4th best defence for XGA. Unreal. Like they're having an absolutely great time, and it'll be interesting to see how consistent they can keep it. And then, like we said, it's that 4th spot for Europe. I mean, it's going to be tough, because I think Tottenham pick up now massively at a big rate, but they've got 7 points on them.
It's a good place to be. It's good momentum to have going into the tinsel window, which is soon going to be upon us.
Of course.
I mean, we're looking
every year. Feels like it gets earlier and earlier every year.
It really does. I mean, we're looking at something crazy like 10 game weeks in 40 days or something when we pick up again. So this is the time to have momentum. They've just got to hope that they don't get injuries because, as with anyone beneath the top, whatever we're calling it these days, the squad depth isn't quite as much. I do agree that you're right. Antonio going isn't if he was to get injured, it wouldn't be the tragedy that it has been in the past. But still, they haven't quite got the squad depth of other teams. So let's hope that they don't get any injuries in that period. But it's a good time to be a West Ham fan, isn't it?
I mean, Ogbonna did his ACL, so he's out for a while, which isn't good. And as much as we talk about that, I 100% think Cresswell should have been sent off for the challenge on Jordan Henderson.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. I think even though he's gone over the top of the ball, and granted that's made his leg fly up, he's off the ground, which therefore means he doesn't have control. And I think it's very, very strange that they didn't look at it because I've seen a lot. I think the only reason why it probably didn't was because he was closer to Henderson and went down and up into him, as opposed to just went horizontally across, which has been seen for some people a red card. But I don't see really how VAR hasn't made the referee at least go have another look at it, because he's gone
I was surprised
studs in up above his knee whilst also being completely off the floor.
Yeah, that's a textbook red card. Like, you cannot be studs up, you cannot be airborne, and you can't have a high foot either. So the combination of those three, I was also surprised. Like, why isn't that a fucking red card? So
apparently, the reason VAR said about not referring it or whatever was that the intensity of the tackle wasn't there, and that I could agree with that in that there wasn't a lot of speed in it. I can't see that tackle breaking a leg or anything. Not that,
but it's,
I don't know. I'm in the minority because I think nearly all the pundits and ex-players and stuff I saw, Micah Richards, etc., were saying that's a red. That's definitely a red. So look, and I've not played the game to any proper level, so I'm fine. But that's the only thing I would say. There wasn't much speed in the tackle. VAR said there wasn't the intensity, which I'm guessing is sort of the same thing. I don't know if it endangered the player seriously. I don't know.
Game's gone, mate. Game's gone, innit?
I knew you were going to do that.
Proper football. Used to be for men. Now it's for boys.
Yeah.
Just to throw a couple of 2 cents here at the end, because I agree with everything you guys have said. This is a Burnleying that I think actually speaks well of West Ham. Because not all Burnleys are by accident. Like, I think Jose Mourinho has shown that over the years, that very much on purpose you can set out to Burnley, hope that you get that tiny little bit of luck on your side and have it executed well. Basically defend and counter is essentially what that means, right? And while that's not useful over an entire season, because you can't sustain Burnleying unless you are Burnley for 3 years in a row for no fucking reason at all.
5 years in a row.
Whatever, I think that the ability to do that in games against, for example, Liverpool is really important. It's a vital tool to being able to punch up above your weight as well as dominate the teams below. And for West Ham to know that they can't hang with, if they go toe-to-toe with Liverpool, they're going to get smacked down. But they can pull out a Burnley, a strategic and on-purpose Burnleying in those matches while dominating the teams below them. That's how you end up in the top four. Knowing your position and knowing how to play against the better teams as well as against the lower teams. They're not Burnleying every game. So for them to come out and Burnley once, that's not a knock against them. It's smart decision-making, and it worked.
Yeah, really was.
So that's kind of my take there. Shall we move away from football? Can I be done hosting now?
You can be done if you want.
Yay! My favorite part of the podcast, where I'm no longer responsible for it going well.
Well, I mean, 1/3 at least. That doesn't mean. It doesn't mean. Hang on, that because you're hosting, you're responsible for everything good before this point. You understand? That's not.
Huh? What? Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was
going to say. I did expect that response. Gentlemen, we're going to quiz. And
Yes.
it is a special version which I've been working on for a little while. Realised that this could be the first part of many parts of doing this quiz. Do I have a jingle? No.
I'm locked in a room, mate. I can't do a jingle.
I'm literally locked in a room. That might have been edited out before. I can't get out of the room. About 10 minutes before we started recording, I shut my bedroom door and I cannot open it again. There's no lock on the door, but it won't come out. I don't have a saw in here. I can't kick it in because it's out the door. Anyway, it's all happening. Something. Apples and pears doing the Lambeth walk. Hey. A while ago, when we were doing the bluffer, Oscar did a really bad Cockney rhyming slang round that died on its arse. So
and then I brought it back the next week, and it was still bad.
Still bad, yeah. Should have learned. So, in that kind of vein, what I've done is I've come up with some Cockney rhyming slang versions of some players and managers' names in the Premier League. And you've got to see, from my Cockney rhyming slang name, if you can identify the name of the player.
So you've made up some rhyming slang.
I've made up some rhyming slang, right? And the last word of the rhyming slang rhymes with the surname of the player. Right?
Okay.
If you get it after that, you'll get 3 points.
Right.
If no one gets it, then I will give you the nationality and you can get 2 points. And then after that, I'll give you the team and you can get 1 point if you get it right.
Okay.
So you all get at least one guess at each level, but you don't have to take a guess. Does that make sense?
I love it.
Sure. Yes. Can you explain Cockney rhyming slang for the American listeners that might want to play along and don't quite understand?
No.
All right. Fair enough.
Apples and pears equals stairs. Whistle and flute equals suit.
Oscar, anyone who's listened knows that Ian and I don't know Cockney rhyming slang.
Fair enough.
So you'll both just have to shout to say,
we're not writing anything down?
I mean, well, if you want, you can, but it's going to be fastest gets it. And these are in no particular order.
Should we just shout our own names?
Yeah, if you want, and I'll try and judge who was first.
Okay.
So, I'm going to shout Star Wars.
I'm going to try and go quite quick. For it, so I'm not going to take a load of time between each one. So, the first one, Dawson's Creek. 5.
Ian.
4.
Donny van der Beek.
Amazing! Gets it in one.
Wow.
Dawson's Creek, Van der Beek.
Yes.
Very nice.
And that's
nice.
That's the double one because James Van der Beek was in Dawson's Creek.
There you go.
Lovely.
So, Ian, please make a note of your points. I can't count this high. Ian gets 3 points for that. So, the next one, ankle sprain. The old ankle sprain.
Harry Kane. Oscar, Star Wars, Harry Kane.
Yes, Oscar. Yes, 3
Nice.
apiece. The old ankle sprain, Harry Kane. Some of them are based also on the player. Remember those?
That was very good.
Very good, yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, some are better than others.
It's not just thrown together.
Right, 3 each. Some of them are players, and some of them might be managers. That's not necessarily a clue for the next one. And some are harder than others. The next one, a free one daily. He's a free one daily. He is from Jamaica, and he plays for Aston Villa.
Oscar, Star Wars.
Shit.
Oscar, go for it.
Bailey.
Bailey, Leon Bailey.
Well
He's a
done.
free one daily. Yeah, some are better than others. So that's 1 point to Oscar because you got it after the team. Yeah,
Very
you get
good.
it now. You get it now. You'll just about get it, and then the quiz will be over. Question number 4. Person number 4. Wheels on fire.
Ian.
Oscar,
Yeah.
Ian.
Ian.
Oh.
Oscar Ian. What?
I said Ian's name. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Ian.
I haven't got it. It's not a current player. Kieran Dyer.
No.
Oscar.
Oscar.
Star Wars. Eric Dyer?
No. They are Norwegian.
No, that can't be right. Ian. Ole
Yeah.
Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah!
Oh,
Solskjaer!
come on.
Wheels on fire, Solskjaer! Come on, lads. That was one of the better ones as
I
well.
took that very slowly because
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, tenuous pronunciations. Fuck you all. 2 points to Ian there. 2 points to Ian. So I believe that makes it 5-4. 5-4. Right. The fifth one. El Camino.
Oscar, Star Wars.
Oscar.
Bobby Firmino.
Bobby Firmino.
Oh,
Yes. 3 points to Oscar. 3 points to
7-5 to Oscar.
Number 6. Foul throw-in. Can he play?
Oscar.
Oh.
Star Wars Ian.
Oscar Star Wars Ian.
Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen, yes! Jared Bowen, foul
I
throw-in.
could not tell you who he plays for, what position he plays. That is just a name that I'm somehow aware of.
I literally spoke about him 5 minutes ago, complimenting how good he's been for West Ham this year. But,
There you go.
they play for a team beginning with W, so that's
Good
what
in
it is.
fan tracks, Oscar. Good in fan tracks.
He's good on fan tracks. Okay.
I think maybe Oscar's won. Wait, Oscar, what score are you on?
No, if I get the next two in the first clue, then I will win 11-10.
So I just have to get one of these, or Ian not get it on the third, on the first.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay. All right then. If that's what we're doing, fine.
Play it anyway, it's fun. I'm enjoying this one.
Play anyway.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
nice. I really like this one, actually.
Okay. So, 7. Player number 7. Overpriced shite.
Oh man, it must be relevant as well. Must
Yeah,
be.
absolutely.
Or else you would have
He
said it.
is English, and he plays for Arsenal.
Ben White. Oh, sorry, Ian. Ben
Oscar.
White. No, he doesn't play for Arsenal. Shit!
He does play for Arsenal. What was that weird
He
reaction?
does
Yes,
play. We
point
went
to
on
Ian.
a transfer all summer long.
Forget that. Oh yeah, fine.
Point
Ugh.
to Ian. Not forget that.
I
It's
had such
staying
an
in.
existential crisis there. I was like, no, you idiot. He plays for Brighton. I was no, that's the other way. He went the other
Chuck,
way.
I think we broke Ian. I think we
I don't
finally
know.
broken him.
I
I don't know if he was fixed. Right, can I get a score update?
Yeah, it's 10-6 to Oscar.
Oh, this is the last one as well. Play the music.
It's up to you.
Hey. Oh. Yeah. New York.
Congratulations, Oscar. Yeah, whatever.
Thank you.
I don't know what happens to me. I get into a state of panic when I play these games.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. You could have got that one earlier as well. That was a bit weird.
I know.
I'm going to do the last one, Ian. Play
Yeah,
for pride.
yeah.
If you get this on the first one, you can make it 10-9, and then it's not so bad. Oscar's
okay.
5-4 ahead in the quiz overall. Yeah, that sounds good. The last one. Championship phony.
Ivan Toney, Oscar,
Oh!
Star Wars,
It's
Ian.
a whitewash.
Dominated with his favourite player as well,
Oh,
Ivan
that's
Toney,
just
championship
so
phony.
upsetting.
I'll revisit that again in a couple of weeks because
That was great, man. That was really good. That might be my favorite one so far this year.
That says a lot about the other ones. We are now, though, in international break, which we do not enjoy. Half the players have just decided not to go, and the shit ones have been called up for England anyway, and we play Albania and... Don't even know. Pointless. So next week we will do one of our famous international break episodes where I am sure the listeners, our Patreon producers themselves, will give us some juicy topic to talk about. Otherwise, I mean, I don't have any other business. So he's done it. He started the music. What an absolute gent. Something tells me he wants to go to bed. Oh shit, Bake Off's on. We better go quick. Oscar, say bye.
Lottie got kicked off.
My connection's gone. I can't get it to the time. Ian, say bye.
Bye.
Something glitchy. John O.G., Johnny Worthington, Andy Penprace from Sutton, and Nate Whittam's the producer. Thank you all very much for listening. We love you. Thanks. Bye.